Scooby here. Scooby has been with us. This is his 4th week with us, right? Scooby came to us as a extreme fear anxiety case. So, we've been diligently working with Scooby over the last 4 weeks to build his confidence. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Scooby is probably one of the toughest dogs that I've ever trained, right? Not because he's not a smart dog, he's actually very smart. Not because he's a super aggressive dog, he's not really aggressive at all. But because his fear anxiety is so high, it overrides everything. It overrides his food drive, it overrides his toy drive, it overrides his people drive. Fear is on the top of his list over everything, right? Now, the reason why this is important is because most trainers will never ever be transparent with you and tell you or show you how they deal with dogs like this. Most trainers will not do it. Most trainers in the social media era, which we all use it, I have no problem with social media. What I have a problem with is how people misinform people on social media. And not necessarily that they give them wrong information, even though there is people that give you wrong information. It's people that do not give you the entire picture. I believe the person that willingly, that knowingly doesn't give you the entire picture is worse than the person that ignorantly, right? And I'm not saying ignorantly in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying ignorance in the sense of what the word means. That means you lack the information, right? I believe the person that deliberately does not give you all of the information or withholds information because it benefits them to withhold the information is worse than the person that gives you all the wrong information unknowingly, right? So, with that being said, his extreme fear drive, and fear is a drive, right? Because whether you realize it or not, it drives the dog to react in a certain way that 99.9% of the time is unfavorable, right? So his extreme fear anxiety will drive him to run away as far as he can. If he didn't have a leash on him, when he gets scared, he would be in China somewhere, right? He would be in Japan somewhere. He would be in Haiti somewhere or Jamaica. Wherever he can get to when he gets tired of running from the thing that he's scared of, right? Now, I said all that to say this. He's been with me for 4 weeks. So what have we been doing for 4 weeks, right? Because I'm assuming that's going to be your question, right? Well, we've been doing a lot. Now, you're probably not going to be able to tell based on this video, right? Because you're looking at how he's reacting now, and you didn't see how he reacted 4 weeks ago. So 4 weeks ago, man, tree trying to take me out. 4 weeks ago, he was much worse than this. He's made it a 180-degree turn from 4 weeks ago, right? So do your best, and if you go back to a few videos ago, you'll be able to see him and see his introduction to the program, right? But I did a terrible job of kind of showing you guys how extreme his behavior is, right? So you have nothing to compare to what you're looking at now. But I promise you guys, he was 1,000 times worse 4 weeks ago, right? So I just kind of want to show you what we're dealing with and how I deal with dogs like this, right? Now, before I start this, right, I'm going to be honest with you. This may be a trigger warning for some people, right? Because again, most trainers do not expose how they deal with dogs that have extreme trait neuroticism, right? And what I mean by that is extreme anxiety, extreme fear behavior, extreme fearful behavior, right? Most trainers will not show you how they deal with a dog that they cannot bribe with a toy or a treat, right? So let's do it. Now, just so you know, I do have his favorite toy, right? And let me show you. Sit. Hey. Scooby, sit. Scooby, sit. Thank you. You see how he's looking? Look. truck, he's scared. He's already exhibiting behaviors that I'm telling you about, right? Every little sound that he's not familiar with, every smell, every sight, everything that he's not familiar with, his first reaction is fear, right? Scooby, get the ball, get the ball, get the ball, get the ball. So you see he has high ball drive, right? Good boy, yes, get the ball. All right, leave it, nope, nope, nope. Leave it, sit, down, good boy. So, just so you have proof, he didn't do none of that when he came to us. He didn't do sit or down when he came to us, right? So this is just proof to show you that we've been working with him diligently, right? As far as impulse control, he had none of it, right? He has some now. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. Again, I'm here to be transparent and real. I'm not here to make it fluffy and make it seem like every dog we train, right, is going to be, leave it. Nope. Sit. Scooby, sit. Good boy. Down. Now I'm going to reward him because he went after it. I told him no. He stopped. I told him to sit and down, and he did it. So now I'm going to give him what he wants. Get the ball. Get the ball. Good boy. Yes, get the ball. That's a good boy, right? Now, even with this, normally because he's so possessive and he's so antisocial, like he doesn't want to play with other dogs, right? He actually gets aggressive with other dogs when it comes to toys because he's so possessive. And that's actually a trait of pit bulls. They're very possessive dogs, right? And this is why sometimes when you get cases of pit bulls being aggressive with people, it's not that they're necessarily aggressive. Now, it can happen depending on how the dog was raised and how the dog was trained. But most cases, pit bulls are not aggressive. They become possessive. And we misinterpret it as being aggressive, right? Because a lot of people get these dogs and they don't understand the characteristics that these dogs have been bred to do, right? And they don't know how to utilize those characteristics, or they don't know how to navigate the dog with those characteristics. And then the situation comes up and they get attacked. And it wasn't that the dog was being aggressive a lot of the time, right? A lot of the time, it's the dog was being possessive, right? So now I'm going to show you a technique how I had to teach him to release the dog, right? And it's simply using leash pressure. But because we're dealing with a pit bull, a dog that has a very high pain tolerance, okay, and a very high possessive drive, right? He doesn't want to let this ball go, right? So sometimes you have to meet force with force. Some people are not going to like that. All you positive only trainers, all you force-free trainers, you're not going to like this, right? I'm telling you right now. Your panties might get in a bunch, but I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to make this a fluffy story. I'm here to tell you the truth because I want people to understand what it means to be a trainer that uses all techniques. I'm not saying I don't use positive only, right? I'm not saying I don't use positive techniques, but I do not only use positive because I understand that the world doesn't work like that. Nobody learns by positive only. Nothing learns like that. We learn from positive interactions and we learn from negative interactions, right? Now, obviously, the goal is to use the least amount of negative reinforcement or even negative punishment as possible. That is the goal. But sometimes we have to teach a lesson by using negative reinforcement and negative reinforcement and negative punishment sometimes. Now, here's where a lot of trainers get in trouble. They lack the discernment, right? And they go overboard, and that's when you become abusive. That is the problem with negative reinforcement and negative punishment. The problem isn't negative reinforcement and negative punishment, it's the people using it. That is the problem. So I want to show you how to use proper discernment in teaching a dog using negative reinforcement and negative punishment, okay? So now I am going to do the concept of what I call doing the least to get the most. So first I'm going to ask him to release the ball. I'm not going to use any physical pressure. Scooby, drop it. Drop it. I'm going to ask one more time. Scooby, drop it. Okay, so now drop it. Thank you. No, nope, nope. There you go. Good boy. Leave it. Down. There we go. Good boy. So now I come back with the positive reinforcement, right? Because I want him to know I don't take this personal. I understand he has a high drive to want this. I don't take that personal. That is his genetics. You see what I'm saying? I cannot take his genetics personal. But he has to understand that he has to have some level of control. Control. Remember that song? Okay, never mind. My wife looking at me like, what are you doing? Right? So he has to have impulse control, right? And sometimes the only way with a dog that has his level of drive, his level of possessiveness, is to fight fire with fire. But if you notice, I didn't go overboard. I was fair. I was fair in the correction, right? I gave him 2 opportunities or 3 opportunities by just using my voice and asking him to release, right? Because he will do it. He does it sometimes. He does it when he wants to, right? And this is where the negative punishment, right, comes into play, especially when I know a dog knows something, right? You cannot positively reinforce a dog that you know knows something and he's choosing not to do it. He has to understand consequences, right? And the consequence is, when you don't listen, especially when I know you know something, you got to get a punishment for that. But the punishment is not going to last forever, because as soon as you do what I ask you to do, then guess what? You're going to get some love. So let's do it one more time, okay? So, thank you, good boy. Leave it. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm dancing this around because, again, I want to test his ability to control his impulses, okay? Leave it. Leave it. Sit. Good boy. Look, fear setting in. He heard a noise, he jumped. That is what he does. Scooby, get the ball. 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 Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Okay, so let's try it again, right? We're going to try to release again, right? Drop it. Drop it. One more time. I'm giving him more chances than he actually deserves. Scooby, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Now here's the most. Leave it. Here's the most. Here's the. Hey. Down. Take it down. Good boy. Drop it. Down. Good. Now here's the most important part about leash pressure, right? As soon, this is where the discernment comes in. This is where you cannot take it personal. Okay? I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. This is where you, as the trainer, as the handler, as the owner, cannot take this personal. He is not defying me because he doesn't like me. He is defying me because his genetics tell him to go. And it's hard for him to control it. I cannot take that personal. So this is where the discernment comes in. I put leash pressure. He drops the ball. I release the pressure. I do not keep choking him. Abuse. He releases the ball. I keep choking him. It's abuse. He doesn't release the ball. It's reinforcement. It's a negative reinforcement. You get reinforced negatively when you don't listen to the command. Okay? Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. I know this is a long video, but I need you to understand it. I want you to understand how to use these tools properly, right? And how to be balanced in your approach as much as you possibly can. And balance is not 50-50. That's not what I'm talking about. Because there's never no perfect balance. Balance is being able to adjust in the moment and use your discernment properly in the moment. So balance in the moment may be 75% negative because you may be teaching the dog something that it doesn't know. Balance may be 80% positive because it knows. Good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. Good boy. Now I'm going to reward him simply because he's been sitting there. Good boy. Yes. Get the ball. Good boy, right? So let's bring this video to an end. Balance could be 80% positive and 20% negative, depending on where the dog is. Balance could be 90% negative and 10% positive, just depending on where the dog is. But if it is 90% negative, then the goal is to work towards decreasing the negative and increasing the positive as you go. That is the goal. Never take it personal, okay? Always remember, whatever struggles the dog is dealing with, that dog is dealing with the struggles within himself. You are only here to help him understand the struggles and how to fix them. That's it. I'm a therapist. A therapist should never, ever take the issues of the person that they're dealing with personal. I never take the issues that the dog is dealing with personal, right? I'm only here to help them see the issues and how to fix them. I'm a dog therapist, okay? So look, folks, as always, any questions, you can always reach out. Make sure, if you have not done so far, like this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you leave a comment below. I'm missing something. What am I missing?
Subscribe.
And make sure you subscribe, okay? And until the next video, you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Stay safe, better yet, stay dangerous. Peace and prosperity. Scooby, drop it. Drop it. Hey, drop it. Thank you. Leave it. Leave it. And you done broke it. He broke it. Peace.